Welcome back to Caterpillar Cross Stitch. We get asked quite a lot in our Facebook group if it matters which way round the stitches go. In this week's video we are going to show you what the various methods look like in practice. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.
So you can see here that Bethany started off with the next section of her cross stitch project by using the classic technique of coming up in the bottom left hand corner of her square, which is going to form the stitch, and coming back down in the top right hand corner of the square. And she's also using the Danish method of cross stitching, which means she's stitching half stitches only in a left to right horizontal row. She's also right-handed herself, and she's going to come back over these working right to left, placing additional half stitches to form the finished full stitches. You can also see here some other examples of sections of this gorgeous project, which is by Stitch Rovia, and on these she's continued to use this exact same method. So she's always stitching consistently, coming up in the bottom left hand corner, coming back down in the top right hand corner. You can now see here that Bethany's working backwards from right to left, coming back over these half stitches, placing her final stitches to form the full cross stitches. So she's now coming up in the bottom right hand corner, lifting the needle over and placing it back down through the top left hand corner. So this will complete the stitches and give a really beautiful, neat, uniform finished look to her piece. So it's really easy to see what this style of stitching will actually look like when it's completed, because you've got these gorgeous, very simple, very modern squares of block colour here. So she has been consistent in using this technique, bottom left to top right, in a Danish left to right half stitch row style method, and it gives this really uniform, beautiful look. The top stitch is always going in the same direction, so when the light is picking up on that vivid cotton, the sheen on it is always in the same direction, and it just looks really finished and precise. So the next style of stitching that Bethany is going to demonstrate here, which many people choose to use, is coming up in the bottom right hand corner and coming back down in the top left hand corner. Bethany is also using here the English style of cross stitch, which means that she's completing one full cross stitch at a time rather than stitching with half stitches in rows. So she's bringing her needle up in the bottom right hand corner, pulling it down through the top left, coming up again in the bottom left and down to form the final stitch in the top right hand corner. Again, it doesn't matter which way round you choose to do, it's just as neat as long as you're consistent. Depending on if you're left or right-handed, some people might choose to use this method, going up in the right-hand corner and back down through the top left-hand corner. It just depends on your personal preference, but as long as you're consistent, it's going to be just as neat as the first method. Just be sure that if you do turn your project 90 degrees for whatever reason, that you remember which way around your stitches were going. I think a few people did this with the Positivity Rules pattern because we had text going horizontally and vertically in that project. So if you're turning it, obviously your stitches are going to end up being the opposite way round. So for the final method of stitching, I'm demonstrating this one, and this is the freestyle, do what you like, see how it goes, flexible, relaxed style of stitching. So you can either stitch full cross stitches one at a time as you go, or you can stitch in rows, vertically or horizontally. So you can see here that some of my stitches are coming up in the bottom left hand corner and down in the top right hand corner, but then because I'm being so relaxed in this example, I'm then switching it up and coming up in the bottom right hand corner and down in the top left hand corner. So some people choose to stitch like this, it's way more relaxed. It doesn't really matter either way. I don't have any problem however anyone chooses to stitch, but many people want to see a slight improvement on the overall finished effect of their stitches. So my advice is always to be consistent. This way means you don't have to think about it so much, but you can see when I'm coming back over these initial half stitches to create the full stitch that it doesn't really have the same polished finished effect as the first two methods. It really doesn't matter which of these three methods you choose. No one else should have a problem with it. As long as you're having fun, enjoying your stitching and relaxing, you do whatever suits you best. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this quick video. Please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more content next week, and keep watching right to the end to see how relieved Bethany was when the filming of her first YouTube video was finally over. I think she did a great job. Leave us a comment down below if you think she did too. Thanks, and we'll see you soon. Bye.